Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, episode 1 of season 2. We are back. We are back, baby.
Finally. Bloody hell.
Yeah. About time, mate.
The most delays ever. Yeah.
Like Mr. Bean looking at the watch. Like, come on.
Right, boys, how are we all? We all good, raring to go for the new season?
Yeah, man.
I'm buzzing, mate. I am absolutely buzzing, to say the least.
Yeah.
Announce Adsett,
I mean, that question should have been...
Adsett.
Hey, we should have actually been asking this question like a week ago because we were meant to do a preview, but you know, with all things considered, a lot's been going on behind the scenes, hasn't it, boys? So yeah, talking of behind the scenes, Ryan, if you want to kick us off, mate,
take it away.
You know, take it away, mate.
So you will have seen my tweet when this does go up. I will have put a tweet on with the club saying I will be doing match day videos, content creation for the club, which is insane. I can't believe I'm even saying this, to be honest with you. It doesn't feel right, doesn't feel real, but yeah, it's been ongoing for about 6 weeks now, so it's nice that we can finally start. I'm doing the Watford game, I'll be doing a video, so if you see me outside the ground, come and say hello, I'll get you on the video, do a little score predictions, a little interview or something. But yeah, I'm buzzing, honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing, to be fair.
Mate, we're buzzing
it
for
is
you
quality.
as well. Yeah, it's
Very
very
proud,
good,
mate.
very good.
Thank you.
And what exactly will you be doing? Just like people, I'm sure will be quite interested to know. What is it like your day to day kind of thing?
Well, to start with, it's just videos. So, like I've done on Copper 90, I'll be bringing back the Copper 90 soon too. So, because the fans back in the grounds, I'll be doing some match day stuff. I'd rather not film too much during the game because I don't want to be on my phone the whole way through, so I'll do a little bit. But the majority of it's going to be a bit of a day in life for the TikTok, for Twitter, for Insta, all that sort of stuff. What it's like to be a fan, really. What it's like to be a fan, going to the game, the anticipation, the crowd, the fun, all of that stuff. What it's like.
The depression after every single match.
The depression after the game.
Burnley in 94th minute.
But, you know, that's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to capture. So it's going to be all that sort of thing. And hopefully in the longer term, we're going to be looking at some other stuff. But for now, it's just the videos. As I say, we'll be starting with Watford. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully we do come away with a win, because if we don't, it's going to be a bit of a downer video, isn't it?
It's true.
Yeah. But mate, you'll be doing it all season, so I'm sure there's going to be some big highs and a few lows along the way.
A few lows too,
should be
for sure.
I'm excited to see it though, mate. I'm really proud of you as well.
Thank you.
Speaking of big highs, Maz has been on holiday, having it
can
large.
You can't tell by the voice. Yeah,
You can't tell.
I've got
Russian vodka, right?
Yeah, I mean, for a guy who doesn't drink, I've somehow got a Russian vodka cough. Yeah, but no, it was sick. To be fair, we were only there for what, four days.
4 days, you like that? Jeez,
Felt like a lifetime.
Yeah. Imagine a whole week. I wouldn't be here right now. I don't think I'd still be in the airport. But mate, yeah, we had a stinker getting back. It was so yeah, like the holiday was sick, all went really well, kind of thing. But then on the way back, so we turned up 4 or 5 hours early to the airport, right? Just because we just didn't want to wait around because we had a 9 p.m. flight and we checked out about 11 from our villa. And so, like, we had like basically 8 hours to kill. So we're like, let's just go get some food and then we'll go to the airport about, as soon as we can, kind of thing. So bearing in mind, we're 4 hours early. We missed check-in. we missed check-in. Had to pay 55. Mate, I don't know. I don't even know what happened. I think we basically just like laying around, just chilling.
Track of time.
Yeah.
I remember getting this text. And I was just thinking, how on earth have you even managed this? But yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't know. We were there 4 hours early. I just don't know how it's physically possible. So we ended up paying a €55 fine each for a late check-in. And then we made it with literally about 5 minutes to spare. And then the icing, the cherry on top was, I got, so as we're about to board, me and my friend didn't have a mask on. So we asked the air hostess, whatever, the woman at the till, whatever, and she goes, I was like, do we need a mask? She's like, no, it's fine, go on. Like, just jump on. We're like, okay, fair enough. So we've jumped on. Straight away, the air hostess is like, what are you doing? In the middle of a pandemic, you haven't got a mask? I was like, what?
Jesus.
Mate, she got on the announcement thing and literally goes, just a reminder to all passengers. Yeah, whilst I stood there.
What a cow.
She was like, yeah, I was like,
it's so embarrassing.
I literally asked. Yeah, and mate, and then I basically got in a bit of an argument with her, like nothing like too bad, but I was like a bit heated. And she's like, do you want to get off the plane? I was like, no, not really.
Yeah, no.
So she like threatened to kick me off the plane. I was like, bloody hell. But yeah, there you go. That was my.
That's not what I was
my
expecting
end
to
of my
hear. I
holiday.
was thinking, we're going to hear some,
Jesus.
fun stories. No, nearly got kicked off the plane,
there
nearly
was-
missed the flight,
there
and
was-
didn't wear a mask. No.
Who was it? Was it EasyJet?
It was Ryanair.
Oh,
is
there
still
you go, mate.
pretty
There you
budget,
go.
yeah.
Respect
that's
Ryanair.
right.
It's got like the most elite name in all of the.
Ryanair, yeah.
Ryanair. Mate, but no, yeah, it was.
That's
it was
a
holiday.
good one for when you
Funny.
ignore people's messages in group chats. You just put Ryanair.
Yeah, that's
Some
what
sort
everyone
of
always
gift from
sends. I'm in a
Ryanair.
group there, like Ryanair.
That is very good.
Ryanair.
That is very
Decent.
good. Right, boys, let's get crack-a-lacking. Of course, we got a win, boys. What an amazing feeling to start the season with a win.
Yes.
The boys brought it
Yes.
home.
What are we saying? What are we saying?
As Neil Mope would say, what
Is
are
that
we
what he
saying?
said? I wonder what
we-
he was saying. I didn't
yeah.
get the reference, but yeah, I get it now.
Yeah, he said.
Mad.
What are
he
we
said, what are we
saying?
saying? What do you say? But that was obviously a
Love
little
Neil.
sly dig, wasn't it, towards the fans? I
Yeah,
think.
100%.
It
I
was a
felt
sly
that
one.
dig. Yeah, just because we all, well, a majority of people doubted him, not
Slandered,
us
yeah.
included. Yeah. So yeah, that was quite funny. But let's talk. Let's kick us off then, Ben. The first half. What were your thoughts on the first half?
Probably the worst. I can't think off the top of my head a worse start to a football season. We probably had the worst start. I think we were one of the first teams to concede the 3 o'clock kickoffs.
3 o'clock
And
kickoffs.
to see it's tough. Yeah, 3 o'clock. You can see we haven't done a podcast for a while. And we were the first people to one of the first teams to concede at 3 p.m. I was like, this is sick. I was watching it at New Unity in London Road with a few people, and I was like, what a great start to the season. Like, this is great. I tried getting it on a stream, but sorry, not a stream. Yeah, a stream. I tried getting it on a stream, and none of them were working, so I just gave up throughout the first half. I was like, fuck this. And yeah, horrendous first half. Like every now and then I would see the stream. It would be like Robert Sanchez flapping in the corner.
Yeah.
It just wasn't going well. It was probably the worst start to the season you could probably ask for, really. At Turf Moor as well.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah, no. Oh, mate, yeah. I think I put a tweet on, didn't I? I got absolutely rinsed for it. I said that it was probably one of the worst first halves I've seen. It's like we took 3 steps back. Like we went all the way back to before we had Potter. It was awful, to be honest. Like there was nothing right. We had Gross left back. We had Adsett playing too deep. We had Webster playing right back. Sanchez was flapping, as you say. It was awful. Everything was just wrong. It disjointed. But then
And also felt hard done by the
Yeah, I was about to say this.
felt a bit
no
hard
pace.
done by the penalty. Well, not the penalty. Sorry, the should be foul. But like I did kind of look at it the next day and think, if Dunk could like won a header or scored a goal and push like Jay Rodriguez over in the process, I'd probably be like, no, fair enough. And so in that way, I kind of think it was fair. And this new rule of them kind of giving those ones, well, not blowing for those petty fouls, I would be happy with it because I feel like.
Did you
that
see
will
the
happen
City
a
game?
few
I think
times
it was
this season.
Tottenham City. There was so many flying challenges, people going in, and there was no refs blowing up, and I was
That's how
like,
it
"This is
should be,
brilliant."
in
I was
my
like,
opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "We're getting the game back." There's no follow through rubbish. It's no like they're letting 50-50 sort of slide a bit, and I'm all for that. If we can get a bit of the game back, I'm all for it. But yeah, I
Last
must
season
admit, I
that
think
would have
it
been
was,
given a foul. There's no doubt.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
even the commentators
definitely.
are like, "This will be given a foul." They were so certain
Yeah,
this
yeah.
will be given a foul. It's fine. But then they're like, "Oh
and
no,
Alan
it's been
Shearer
given."
said, didn't he? Was it Shearer? Yeah, I think it was Shearer. On,
I think it was Shearer,
Match of
yeah.
the Day. And he said that Mope's not actually making an attempt to get that ball. He's just literally just there to block him. So
just standing
you know, he
there.
has every
Yeah.
right to sort of push him out the way. I mean, you're not going to let him push you away, is he? So he's, you know, I can see that.
And a gust of wind would have blown him over because he was like quarter square footed, wasn't he? So like any little shove,
exactly.
you'll go straight back like that. It was
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
kind of
exactly.
laughable, but had to be nil
but,
as well.
You know, I put that tweet on as well. The tweeting Seagull, all these people deciding to think, this is the time we can attack Ryan, and they went for it. I don't know if you guys saw. I put a tweet on, and I said that Potter has got this totally wrong so far. Big second half, or something like that needed, or you know, it's been a bit of a shambles. People saying that I was slating Potter, that I was, you know, plastic and all this, and saying, you know, I'm taking my first attempt to jump on Potter, and I was thinking, I had people unfollowing me, calling me negative, and I was like, me negative? If I'm negative, then what's half of our fan base? Jesus. But yeah, I didn't understand it, and in after the second half, I said that was nothing short of a masterclass. And everyone was like, "Oh, you're such a flip-flop." Oh, yeah. So I was like, mate, I literally said so far, at half-time we were awful. Second half, we were good. So we can get on to the second half now. And as I say, it was a masterclass. He changed the game, made the subs, changed that stupid formation that I hope I never have to see again. And it worked a treat, didn't it?
I was just going to ask though, what like this is the question to both of you is why do you think he went into the game with that formation and the personnel? So like you said, like you mentioned, Ryan, like I think it was Gross at left wing back, and you know he had people
not even left wing back, left back. Like that
left back.
I can't understand. Yeah, like you said, Matt, I have no answer why he would have done that.
Yeah,
why he
why do you think he went into that? Yeah, what was the thinking behind it?
I tried to think about it, and I thought the only logical thing that I could think of was to accommodate Duffy. Because obviously he's not a ball player, maybe we put a flat back four to accommodate him and sort of do a Burnley against Burnley, but we conceded in 2 minutes, so it didn't really work. But it looked like the game plan from the first half was lump it forward and don't really play proper football, and we weren't very good at that. We couldn't result to that. We clearly couldn't. Second half, we went to the back three, had wing backs again, had our fluid football that worked so well. We controlled the game, but first half it was like we were trying to out Burnley, and we made them look like Barcelona. So yeah, it was awful, to be honest. But he identified it. We changed it.
I kind of see it might have been like that first half. You know, you got three centre backs playing in a back four. Would that be to accommodate all the long balls and the corners that Burnley are going to be put in? Potentially, we conceded one, and I think they finished on like XG straight away. I think they had 1.7 XG potentially, or 1.6 XG. Yeah, I think like 1.4 of their XG was all from corners and crosses or something like that, which just goes to show like that's probably why he had three centre backs.
And in fairness, it was a good. It was a great game for Duffy. It was a perfect game for him because playing against Burnley is Shane Duffy's game on any stretch of the imagination. And to be honest with you, I was actually thinking about it, and I wonder why we didn't try that more over the last couple of years, where we've sort of excluded Duffy, but. He would have probably done a better job than that, like Ben White or something, against the Burnley side, who are always going to win headers. I mean, we saw Ben White against Brentford getting absolutely bullied by Ivan Toney every single time in the air. He got absolutely done, and I felt bad for him because obviously I don't want Ben White to flop.
Yeah, that was really hard to watch.
It was hard to watch, wasn't it? Yeah, it wasn't good because there was no way to back him either. It's awful performance.
Getting spun by like Mbuemo as well in the first half.
It was hard to watch, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
But as I say, it's a perfect game for Duffy, and he came out man of the match, and I think probably deservedly so. I think it was probably either him, Moped,
goal line clearance as well.
Goal line clearance, yeah, he was
in the
very
first
good.
Half.
Yeah,
I saw the interview with him after the game where I think he quoted it as well, Ryan, on Twitter. It was the basically the interviewer was asking about like his sort of resurgence, so to speak, or his return to the team, and he just mate, like the whole minute and a half video, he just looked teary eyed and like he's really emotional, and I think that to me shows like how much it means to him, like to come back, and because obviously he had a torrid time at Celtic last season.
At his like boyhood club as well, like imagine going to your dream club and then that happens. You have horrible season. And the Celtic fans think you're horrendous. Like you're hoping to be a potential legend for like one season on loan there. Maybe you can get a permanent move, but it couldn't have gone any worse for him last season.
No, and the way he was talking about it as well, like because he mentioned, he goes, now I feel like I'm back home, and he was like, I hit rock bottom. Obviously, his dad passed away, and like he really hit rock bottom, and you could tell, like I think at the time when that happened, you could tell that he wasn't at his full best, and that's why he went out on loan, and like we mentioned before, he wasn't part of Potter's sort of strategy with regards to a ball playing defender. There was a lot of factors that came into it, and the fact he sort of bounced back from a terrible season last season, and like I know it's only one game in, but there's still a long way to go, but just from that one showing, it looks positive, and
the confidence should do
so
much.
Exactly. So fingers
crossed,
crossed,
he tell that he's
for us.
That he's not there either yet. You could tell the way he said it's baby steps and all that sort of thing. So you can tell he's very fresh off this bad period for him. And I do, there is an element of that. You doubt whether he's going to be the long term thing for this season because he's not. Let's face it. In that game, he did get shown up with his feet a few times. They were avoiding him, I think, with his feet whenever they could. But I think we all love Shane, don't we? Every Brighton fan loves Shane, so it's good to see him happy. We were good to see a man of the match. Whether he's long term, I don't know, but for now we're happy with him for that performance. And even if he does go on to not do so well, we're still gonna all love him, and so we should, I think, to be honest.
Yeah. Another big talking point from the first half, before we go into the second half, was that tackle from Goodmanson. And these Burnley fans, for booing, clowns. And this one other Burnley fan, I saw he tweeted, like, if you look at the challenge between Basuma and Goodmanson, there's only one player that's got his feet in the air, and that's that's not Goodmanson. And then a Brighton fan like quote tweeted it being like, sorry, what pitch are you looking at? And it's Goodmanson with like his 2 feet in the air and Basuma's obviously fine on the ground. You just think, what match are you watching to think that Basuma was the one in the wrong there? And like, I don't know about you guys. Do you think it was could have been a red card, or are you happy with just seeing the yellow there?
See, I watched it back and I don't know, because I feel like it was late and it was very high. So last year, I reckon that would have been sending off. As we're talking about these 50-50s, I think both players went in for that. Like they both launched themselves. Neither of them really had much of control. They say Basuma had the last touch of the ball, but let's face it, like they both slid into each other. I think the momentum carried him to make it. Yeah, one was more aggressive, but I think as well I would say that there was an element of like maybe his momentum took him a little bit too far. Maybe I think it was a bit of a harsh 50-50. Then let's put it at that. I think maybe if anything, it's probably a red card towards us for the Burnley player, but at the same time, I think there's an element of the amount of momentum that the Burnley player had maybe made it look a little bit worse than it was. And if they are letting go of these sort of 50-50s and, you know, making the game play out a little bit, I can see that. But definitely in the first half anyway, Burnley were very dirty. I mean, even that elbow, wasn't it, on Mopé? There was a few,
I was about to say that.
Elbow. There was a few little dirty things that they were doing. So it was definitely on the dirty side, but I feel like only so early in, maybe probably not a red card because they probably would have given benefit of the doubt, plus the whole new 50-50 rule. But yeah, it was a bit of a challenge and a half for sure.
Yeah, he didn't exactly look at Neil, but I think the way he had his elbow, the height he had his elbow, he was definitely kind of.
I think that was more of a red. I think that was more of a red. If I'm honest, because that was just malicious. I don't think he wasn't trying to do anything apart from elbow him there. I mean, that was just a foul. I think if anything, that was probably a red. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah,
it is what it is. So going on to the second half, then a pretty poor first half for us. But then to Potter's credit, I suppose you expect that from a manager of his quality, is to make changes. You know, recognise the game's not going our way. We're not playing well. You know, everything's pretty much going wrong. So he recognised that and made a lot of changes in terms of system and also personnel. And I suppose it was like the story of the second half was subs coming on and making impact. You got Jakob Moda setting up the goal, and of course McAllister scoring as well. So it was like the subs really. Viva Alexis. Let's start off with the first goal then. In regards to Mopé scoring, it was a great cross by Moda, and a good finish from Neil as well. I mean, it was a bit of a scrappy one. Well, not scrappy, as in the tackle came in, didn't it? And he sort of just slid and got it in.
It feels like we're finally learning, because the whole of last season we're like, why are we putting so many balls into the box in the air when Neil Mopé can't head the ball because he's like 5'8" or whatever. And the two goals we score, I know it was Alexis the other one, but they're a similar height, both low-driven crosses, and I feel like, I'm not comparing us to Man City, but that's a lot of the goals they score.
It was a Man City
low-driven
goal,
crosses into tap-ins, and I feel like that's a really good way for us to score. And even in the build-up of the first goal, Basuma's run and that little dink over the top to Moda was quality. And that's stuff. I think Moda's left-footed as well, so it was a decent cross with his weaker foot.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Like, this is what it instantly came to my mind too, Man City, because it's exactly how they score their goals. They break down their opponents, put it out wide, and then come across and score, because it's so hard to deal with that as an opposition. I mean, like, if that's coming across low-driven really quickly, it's so hard to adapt to that. Whereas, you're trained all the time to head clearances. These defenders are trained. Ben Mee, Tarkowski are trained to head clearances. And I think I said this on my YouTube video as well about the whole, this move that Potter seems to have worked out. And he tried it a couple of times. I think it went wide, Gross put it in. I think it hit Mopé once, and, there's a couple of them.
Yeah, Mopé had a couple of chances like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then it worked on the goal that Moda, literally an instant impact, came on the pitch, ran up the other end, and then put it across the ball. And it was a great goal. And then Alexis came on as well and did literally the same thing 5 minutes later. I mean, when do we ever see us scoring 2 goals in 5 minutes, doing the exact same thing with 2 substitutes heavily involved? It was insane. It was a masterclass, to be honest.
So unlike Brighton to do something like that.
It was refreshing to see, wasn't it? Something different that we've never really seen before.
No.
So the
cutback,
I mean,
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, unreal.
I would have loved to have been in the stand for that as well. The away boys, it must have gone mental that second goal. Even the first goal, all the players running over. I mean, I've missed seeing the players run over to the away fans like that. That's so good to see.
Yeah, it's good.
And I think Alexis said that was one of his first times he was able to celebrate with the fans like that. Yeah, so you could see the energy that when he was going, he was like, "Vamos!" He was
going mad,
like so passionate when he was going for it.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's that's something I put on my Twitter as well. I said about the whole Alexis celebrating, looking like he loves it, and I said that I don't know. I could be reading so much into this. I don't know what you guys think, but it looked like we had that togetherness back again, which we took so much pride of back in like 2015, 16, 17 when we were in the Championship. It looks like that was there against Burnley. The whole Dunkey, I think it was Webster, Mope, Alexis McAllister. There was Yves Bissouma as well. They all look like they're absolutely loving it. And that's really refreshing to see because you probably couldn't say the same for the past, I'd say, couple of years, really. I mean, even, particularly in the Premier League, I think that sort of went a bit once we got rid of Knockout, we got rid of Duffy. We got rid of some big characters and replaced them with... Scalotto and people like that who didn't really care, Locardia. So it was quite refreshing, I thought, to see
Lasardia if you're Thogden.
Lasardia, yeah. But no, it's quite refreshing, I thought. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe I'm reading too much into that.
No, I saw an interview with a player. Can't remember which player it was. That's completely gone from my mind. But it was quite recent, and they were saying it might have even been Shane Duffy. Maybe not. But they were saying about like the togetherness in the squad is like the best it's ever been, and they were like Potter has put together such an unbelievable togetherness in the team. Like they whoever it was, they praised Potter so much for making it that way. But yeah, I think you're definitely.
I think it definitely shines through. Like just like being 1-0 down against Burnley, you could always like that could easily be the final score. You could just go through they could just sit back. They're really hard to break down. We know what they're like. They just they're good defensively. They're a good unit. But the fact that I think it showed by our character and the fact we made some good changes. It showed the togetherness of being able to come back. Because like I said, last season or maybe 2 seasons ago, we wouldn't have had that kind of resilience or that kind of character to come back. So no, I definitely think it's there. And also as well, just a special mention to Webster as well for the second goal because he was the one to sort of drive forward, and then he got the pre-assist to grow to Pascal, and then Pascal put it in. And I think that's what we missed a lot. With Webster when he was out last season for a big chunk, we missed that, didn't we? Like his driving runs forward. He's good on the ball. He's great, progressive, taking the ball forward. And I think that was just really like highlighted for me like how important he can be this season. We just need to keep him fit, keep him playing, and I think he'll be a star. Like one of our star players.
I think you're right in that. I think this could be Webster's year, maybe, because it's his third year in the Premier League for us. First year he was a bit messy. Second year he was looking good. Got injured. He still had a few mistakes, and then when he came back, it wasn't quite right. But against Burnley, he was colossal. I thought him, Duffy, and Duncan that second half was so good. They looked really, really good. Okay, you can argue Duffy's kick was a bit here and there, but I think overall they look like a unit. Look really, really strong. I don't know what's going to happen with the long-term impact of the centre half situation. Whether it will be Duffy or not.
I was just about to say. So let's pretend that Tariq Lamptey is going to, a good while away in terms of his recovery and coming back into the team. Let's just, for argument's sake, right? I know he's back in training and all that kind of stuff, but let's just say he's not near yet. What personally, I would quite like to see Veltman. Depending on what we play, but I'd quite like to see Veltman at right back, and then have Webster. Depending if we play 4 at the back, have then Duncan, Webster, and then obviously Solly March or whatever left wing back. What would your thoughts be, guys? Like how do you want to see Potter set up if Lamptey's still a bit away from starting?
Ben, you can take this first.
So as good as Duffy was, and the strange coming out of my mouth, I think I would start Dan Burn at left centre back over Shane Duffy, just simply because of this potentially could have just been like a one-off performance for Shane Duffy. I'll happily be proven wrong, because then if we get proven wrong, we've got another brilliant centre back again. But I think I would have Veltman right wing back for the time being, Webster right centre back, Duncan in the middle, Dan Burn left centre back, and then Solly March left wing back. I think.
That's a fair shout, to be fair, because say what you want about Burn, but he is a solid option in centre half. I think it's when he moves on to left back he's a bit dodge. When he's in centre half, he looks all right. Like he looks very solid, and he's actually surprisingly decent with his feet. So I can give you that for sure. To be honest with you, I still feel like we're going to make a signing. I still feel like we're going to get a centre back.
I fucking hope we do, Ryan. Bloody hell.
I just have that feeling. So I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know, but I feel like with getting rid of Ostergaard, it's almost like we're ready to bring someone in. I don't think we'd get rid of Leo Ostergaard for him to kind of have a man of the match and score on his debut for Stoke. Surely there's something else out there, I think. So as things stand, Veltman probably right wing back for me, provided Lamptey's out for a while. I mean, as you say, he's in training, so I don't know what's going to happen with him yet. Dunk and Webster make themselves, and then to be honest, it can be between, as you say, Burn, Duffy. I don't know. I feel like Duffy will get exposed against a fast-paced team like United. When you watch United against Leeds, it was horrifying to think about Mason Greenwood running at Shane Duffy. I mean, I can just see Eden Hazard flashbacks right now. But sorry, Shane, because I feel so bad for saying this on him. But as I was saying, I think it's harsh on Duffy, but I think I'd have to drop him only because of his feet. But if he can prove to us otherwise, that he can use his feet, I'm all for it. I want to see Duffers do well again.
Yeah.
I want to see that Donkey link up. That friendship's brilliant.
Yeah, because I remember, was it that season? Was it not last season, but I think it was the season before? Was it when Duffy and Dunk were just like incredible? They were just so good.
Yeah.
Or it might even, or definitely.
In the first 2 seasons of the Premier League,
it was 18-19.
Yeah,
they were like particularly like class.
Yeah, unreal. So if he can replicate any of that form, that'd be amazing.
But that leads me on to a good point. Like, there's been a lot of talk on Twitter and that about the impact of Lewis Dunk. So we've seen how Ben White plays in the back four without Lewis Dunk, or even in defence without Lewis Dunk, and he's playing next to Pablo Mara and Callum Chambers next to him. And then you see Shane Duffy come in after a terrible time at Celtic, like, as we've mentioned, and he gets like an 8 out of, was it like an 8.5 rating against Burnley, man of the match. Is Dunk? Do we generally think that's down to Dunk? Has Dunk made Ben White look that good, and has Dunk made Duffy look that good, or is it just by chance?
I think he has, if I'm honest. I mean, I think there's so much about Dunk that commands it. You can see what a proper captain he is when he plays football. We've all seen it before. We've been raving about him for absolutely years. Goes under the radar every single year, but there's no coincidence this has happened with 3 centre backs now, with Webster, with White, and with Duffy. When Webster come in, Dunk was covering him all the time, mistake after mistake. He was covering White. When he made his mistakes, he was having to cover him. He was also having to cover Burn as well. So I think there's no doubt in my mind, anyway, that Lewis Dunk is a massive impact. I'm not taking anything away from Duffy because he's had to work for this too, but I think he is a big impact on it for sure.
When you can rely on someone like Lewis Dunk, I think even like Jamie Carragher was really, really picking at Ben White's headers and aerial ability. So like where Ben White lacked in that, Lewis Dunk and Webster were able to clean up that kind of for him and take those aerial duels potentially. And Arsenal don't have that. So I guess you could say that is definitely down to playing alongside Dunky.
And then also as well, that clip that we shared, I don't know if whoever follows us on Twitter would have seen it. It was the clip we shared of the kickoff. And they were basically previewing us.
That wound so many people up. I didn't expect it to wind people up like that. Hey,
because obviously I was away on holiday, and so I didn't see it until last night. And honestly, I watched it and I was like, "What the hell are you lot chatting about?" Like, it's so obvious that they don't watch anyone outside of the top 6, and they literally just go by maybe a few opinions on Twitter, or they might see something here and there on Twitter or whatever it might be, and then they base all their opinions on that. It's like, what was it? I think it's Rory. Rory Chelsea.
Yeah. It's such a shame because I like a lot of the lads on that, but it just shows like they were doing a special segment about relegation. You think they would be prepped for it? Like, I know they said that he had stats in front of him, but you think you'd do a bit more than just look at the league table.
He got the stats wrong as well. He got the stats wrong.
How about just don't judge these players off a calculator and actually watch them play? Like, do a proper scout report on them if you want to. Like, it doesn't take long to scout report a player. I mean, you can get a decent feel for what a player is by a very decent scout report, and you can message fan accounts. Like the amount of times we get messages from other fans about FPL. So it's like a West Ham fan saying, he's like, "Oh, is Trossard going to play? Is Moda going to play? What are the chances?" Yeah, like it's easy, and I give my opinion straight away.
This is exactly my point. It's like, I know, I'm not just saying this because we are a fan channel and obviously I want more people to watch us, but like support your local fan, like your fan channels, because we're dedicated just to one team, whereas they're focusing on 20 teams. You know, like they have to have a knowledge of 20 teams, which is obviously, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they should be able to, because it is hard. Like, to have a knowledge of all 20 clubs inside and out is impossible, pretty much. But that's why us fan channels, that's why we bring an insight to the club of that, you know, of our choice. So, you know, that's why really, that's why I watch, you know, that's why I much rather watch as much as I hate them, I'd rather watch an AFTV rather than a kickoff, because at least AFTV is designated for one team and got an they've got an expertise on that one club, over, let's say, the kickoff, where they just literally just guess and just pull out random stupid shit.
It's a shame
one of them said, go on. Oh no, I was just finally one of them said, oh, Ben White was their best defender and they sold him. And I was just like, as soon as he said that, I was like, right, your opinion's done. Yeah, your opinion's invalid. Thanks, lads.
I could rip into
is it
him.
Rory,
I'm
or
not
is
going
it
to.
the Man City guy?
Yeah,
I'm not going to.
And then he was like, oh, we finished bottom as well. He was like, they're the least worst team. Or not the least worst team, something like that.
Yeah, the second to worst team.
Oh, no, we weren't though. So get that right as well.
I could easily rip into Duffy because I had to deal with him. He's blocked me now anyway, so you're not even going to see this. I had to deal with him on Instagram to do with some account we were going to run together. I didn't have a clue who he was. I just knew he did a TikTok video. I didn't realise he did this kickoff thing. So I saw he had followers, but I thought, he's probably just bought them or something. Because I was thinking, there's no way on earth this guy has genuine followers, because even in negotiations that we were talking about, I'm sorry, but he was talking absolute garbage half the time. And then because we couldn't come to a deal, an agreement, he just blocked me. And I just thought, if that's what you're going to be like, he's blocked me from this. And I'm thinking, you're talking to me and you can't even have a serious conversation with me. How are you even going to be able to run a podcast and have a serious conversation with people? It's just, I just thought, God, that's my first experience of it.
I remember
Clown.
For work, we used one of his videos. It was when he was filming himself at the Man City game where Riyad Mahrez had a penalty. I think it was against Liverpool at Anfield, I'm pretty sure it was. And basically, like, Mahrez skied. Yeah, when he skied it, and basically his reaction was brilliant, and he sort of went semi-viral for that because like he was basically filming himself. Like, he got a lot of stick. Everyone was like, "Just watch the fucking game, mate! Like, why are you filming yourself? Like, you know, and reacting to it like that? Like, it was just like a full-on screen, like just of his face.
Exactly.
And I was just like, what's the point? But yeah,
Boys,
anyway,
I just want to say,
digress.
by the way, did you see Alexis McAllister retweeted our tweet on Twitter? He retweeted the Seagulls Social tweet. I don't know.
Oh yes, was Boy Wonder video. Yeah, it was just
he
now.
retweeted it.
That did pop out then. Oh, sick!
I just got a notification. That's cool, isn't it?
Oh, sick. I thought that. I was like, I'll just tag him, and it was dedicated to him instead of like one of him and Mope. I just put like Boy Wonder with the 10 emoji. Yeah, that's it.
Big
up Alexis.
What a guy.
And the song is called Argentina as well by Gunner. So
we need to get right. If you're listening to this and you're an Albion fan, we need to get "Who's That Man from Argentina" song for Alexis, because I used to love that chant when we used to do it for a shower, but we haven't had it since. I think it fits him because he's "Who's That Man from Argentina." I don't know what the words could be.
His name's a bit tricky. It's like McAllister's his name, and he's he doesn't score a goal a game.
Alexis McAllister's name, and he scores a goal a game. Well, he doesn't though, does he? But no, it would be quite cool, wouldn't it? So I think we should. If there's people watching this, we're putting out a cry for help here. Help us think the lyrics for Alexis McAllister for his chant. Because I think
I
that
love
could
the
be
little
quite
Mope
cool.
ones, like the Wee Bonjour one.
I like that.
Yeah, that's class. We do need to get, and he's also number 9 now. I know he was number 9 last season. But we weren't there
Talking of Neil Mope, I've just got a quick question actually to both of you, and we'll start with Ryan. So with him scoring obviously on the weekend, you know, it was a good goal. He played pretty well, like you know, decent. Do you think now that's going to be more of a catalyst for us to not sign a new striker, or do you think we're still going to go gung ho for a striker?
No, I think
I know it's only one game, but you know.
Yeah. I think we'll still go for one because I think, and I stand by the point I made all the way back in the January window. We need a striker to go with him. We don't need a striker to replace him. I think I would love to see Mope linking up with someone like he did with Watkins at Brentford. I want to see Mope working with a big man, and he works so well with Welbeck. But Welbeck's a liability.
You can't rely on
Welbeck.
The time. You can't rely on him.
So it'd be nice to have like I couldn't tell you. Nunez, if it's a big game tonight, it's PSV against Benfica. If PSV win, Benfica are knocked out of the Champions League, which means that there is a better chance,
We
according
need
to Naylor,
proper to do some business.
that we do
proper hat trick.
Yeah, that we do get Nunez, and then if that happens, I mean, he looks like a big man. He's like 6 foot something, 6'2". He looks class as well. To be fair, like he's obviously got a very big ceiling, lots of money, but I mean, the club honestly think he's worth it. I'd say, I think we need to get a player to play alongside him.
You're saying we can't rely on Welbeck, and I hate to bring him up again. It's always speculation, but we thought Aaron Connolly was going to really kick on, but there was speculation about, before the Friday before the match, someone tweeted being like, there's like a bus up at the Brighton training ground, and then the next day we see that Aaron Connolly's not even in the squad or anything like that, and it turns out that apparently he'd had like a bust up and was kicked out of the training or something like that. It's a bit of speculation. And like, just what I was trying to say is like, we can't rely on him as well if he's going to be getting in these situations again and getting dropped from the squad entirely, not even just on the bench. We can't rely on Connolly and Welbeck. They're too unreliable.
It's frustrating because obviously we've all sort of had our pops at Connolly, and I wanted him. I really, really thought after the Luton game, finally, maybe now we can see Connolly being the man that he can be. And I thought, this is, if anything, if there's ever a time where it should click in your brain to start fixing up and think, this is it. It's when you score in a pre-season game right before we come back to the Amex, before we come back to season football, and then reportedly goes and has a tantrum or a bust up. Why
that
would
was
you
it, a tantrum,
do
wasn't
that,
it?
mate?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? If it's true,
Literally
why?
the day before, or like the training
Yeah.
session before the fucking game.
If it's true, why do that, Aaron Connolly? If you're listening, mate, please just stop, just stop doing this. Because he's not going to, and he's not listening to it. But
This is currently playing in the dressing room at the Brighton training. How you doing,
Paul
boys?
just clipped this little bit, and he's using it as a disciplinary.
Right.
Said, "Listen, Aaron, right? You need to fix that."
Ryan, when
These
you
boys
next,
slating you every week.
Ryan, when you're next in the training ground, just basically just put, like place a recorder in the changing room and then just play our
Just
podcast.
slide it under the door.
Yeah, slide under the door.
Just play this, mate. Look,
Welcome to season 2,
I'll-
episode 1 of Seagulls Social.
But I think,
fuck
just
is going
quickly to answer my own question with the whole Mopé signing thing. I think, Ryan, you hit the nail on the head. It's not to replace Manil Mopé, but it's to have someone alongside him, because we know that unfortunately Welbeck's just not. He's not consistent enough in terms of staying fit, and I just don't think he's of that quality that we need. To be honest, I'm still, I've been very critical of Welbeck, and I've been made to eat my words quite a few times, but I still stick by. I just don't think he is to the quality of. If we really want to kick on and progress, like, I just don't think he is that player to do that. Unfortunately,
I'd say he's like a
but
good mid-table striker. I think he can go like he's a good
he's a
mid-table
good squad
striker.
player
I think
for sure.
If he scored when he's on his day, I think Welbeck's brilliant. Like we saw against Leeds, we saw it against Newcastle. We can see how good he is. West Ham as well. He scored some good goals, and it's clear to see that he has got something in him. I mean, he hasn't played at Man United and Arsenal for no reason. I just, it's annoying because he's always injured, and if he wasn't, there could be something in there. I think because you can see in him that he's got his class, and I think it was Danny Cashman came on, and he said like you can see him and Lallana. You can. Particularly see that they have been Champions League players, have been, internationals, because they have it about them. He said Welbeck came into the under-23s and was chipping them all the time. So you can see that. It is frustrating because it's just one of those that will never be consistent, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, look, let's see what happens. We've got another 2 weeks, just under, for the transfer window.
Running out of time.
Fingers crossed. We can sign a centre back and a striker.
And Mark Cucurella, hopefully.
And Cucurella.
Cucurella, fingers crossed.
We
got that number 3 shirt. The number 3 shirt is vacant.
Yeah. It's his, isn't it? It's
So,
obvious.
yeah.
I think. I reckon
there
the
for a
Cucurella
reason.
deal. I reckon that's obvious now. I think it's going to happen. I reckon.
I fucking hope so, man.
Based on nothing.
We'll see.
Don't come from my head when it doesn't.
Robbie.
But I'm just saying. I just think it will. I don't know. I've got hope.
Right.
We'll see.
And then finally, boys, let's get on to the Watford preview. So of course we have
the
got
first
Watford.
preview
Now,
in ages.
Let me just say, can I just quickly say, I've got texts to prove this. I've got messages to prove this. I said Watford will beat Aston Villa on the first day of the season. I knew that Villa, which weren't going to be gelled together, they got too many new signings. I was like, Watford have
Did you
actually.
put
I looked
money
through
on
Watford
it?
squad. No, I didn't because I was on holiday at the time. So that
I put money. I had a sixfold, and 5 of them came in, and one of the other ones was the Brighton Burnley game to have 2 or less goals, and it was obviously 3 goals. I was not expecting it to be. I know I would have won 110 quid, but I was happy to not win it because we won.
At least
obviously.
you won. Yeah.
But
But yeah,
that was my first
basically,
act for ages as well.
I look through that because I'm a bit weird like this, but like every season I look through everyone's squads, like just to see like who's been signed, blah blah blah. I've just always done it. But yeah, so I looked through Watford's, and I actually was like genuinely surprised about like not defensively, but going forward, they've actually got some decent players. Like you got Ismail Assar, they've got that Dennis who scored at the weekend. Yeah,
scored
and
against Madrid as well
and
recently.
who's the other guy they got? They got one
assisted
more
by
player.
Percy
Who's the other
Tau.
guy? Anyway, they're basically like going forward, they got a very decent team. So I was just like, look, Villa obviously signed a lot of new players, and they're going to take time to gel. They've obviously got
no Grealish as well,
and no Grealish as well.
Big impact.
So yeah, and obviously Watford went out and was it 3-2 in the end? I think they went 3-1 up. And so yeah, going forward to this game, I don't think it's going to be easy. Like we looked at it on paper, didn't we? Like going into the season, we're like, okay, like first 6, 7 games, we've got quite a good easy run in, so to speak. But like now that we've watched Watford play, they're actually going to be a trickier opponent than I personally.
They look like a very attacking team. Yeah, I didn't think they'd be that attacking and just. It was enjoyable to watch. Like the goals they scored were bangers. That Hernandez guy who came on, unbelievable.
Mate. Yeah, that was an
unbelievable goal. Other than Ben Foster, who said that we were going to get relegated and Watford were going to finish 13th. Remember that? That pissed me off. But maybe he knows something that we don't know. Maybe Watford, maybe he's seen them in training and thought, God, we've got a good chance of really surprising the league here.
Well, the last laughs are on us, Ben, because he didn't even start the game. So, a guy called Daniel Backman started in goal anyway. So have some of that, Ben Foster, mate.
Film your GoPro from the bench, mate. Better out.
That's good.
That's brilliant. But
no,
yeah.
Say as well,
So yeah, well, right.
Watford, as you say, they look lethal. They've got a lot of pace, which is what's worrying me because I think about Duffy, as I mentioned earlier. Pace hurts us, I think, without Lamptey. And if Veltman's still isolating, I don't know what his situation is. I think it will be a bit of a tough one. I've got to be honest. I think, they'll be tough customers, but at the same time, we control games. We control any team in the league. We can go to any ground. We can go to Man City, and we've proven that we can control that game. We can literally outclass them as we did at the Amex. So on our day, I think we can beat anyone, and that's not deluded to say. I think Potter has it in him. Tactician, you know what he's like. Yeah. Watford will underestimate us because they'll think we've beaten Villa, so we don't need to worry about Brighton.
Did they beat us? You know, where the season they got relegated, did they beat us? Remember, it was that night game Decore scored. Was it like 2-1 or did we draw that? Can you remember?
I was there. Was it there. It was, because Ali Reza came on and I was like, oh, go on, Ali, because I thought he was actually going to have his comeback season. And then he actually put the ball across, I think, and then they scored an own goal from it or something. And then, I think, 1-0
it was 1-0. And then we it was 1-0, you're right. And also we beat them 3-0 away.
Yeah, 3-0 with Mope when he rounded a goalie on his debut. It was mad.
That was when I'm pretty sure Dunkey done that unbelievable through ball. Yeah, it was for Mope's goal. When he, Yeah. That was unbelievable for a
So Potter knows how to finesse Watford, but obviously they've had like 18 managers since we last played them.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same.
I don't even know. I was like,
years ago.
I thought it was some like 60-year-old fan won some kind of like raffle to be manager for Watford for the day. I had no idea who that bloke was. Something Muniz.
Well, Cisco Muniz, Cisco Muniz.
Do you remember that video from 2019 where it was that Watford fan, and he was like, "There's some things in football you expect, but to get bantered by Brighton fans and lose 3-0 on the opening day, he's like, you just don't expect that." It's so funny.
You know, you get relegated if that happens.
Yeah, something like that.
Also as well, for Watford. So I'm just looking through their last game. They had Joao Pedro out, Josh King, and who's the other player? Someone else basically.
Was it Will Hughes, maybe? Was it Will Hughes?
Don't know.
Remember, maybe.
Anyway, Joao Pedro, Nathaniel Chalobah, Josh King, and Joao Pedro, who are three decent players. So imagine, like they had those in the squad. And they've just signed Danny Rose as well, who didn't play at the weekend. I mean, he's half decent. He's got some pedigree about him. You know what I mean?
Any word from Milan, boss? Any word from Milan?
No, but yeah, look, I think it's going to be a tough game. But like you both said, on our day we could easily we could easily go there. We could easily beat them like 3-0. Like no one batting like as Brighton fans, we wouldn't be surprised. Maybe from the outsiders, be like, oh my god, how have they done that? But like we know our potential and how good we can be on our day. But in saying
depends if we play that well.
Yeah, and how well sort of Watford set up and come at us, I suppose. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be definitely a tough game. I don't see that going straightforward. But, I'm confident considering we beat Burnley going into the game. So, yeah. What about you two? Anything else to add?
Hopefully Ben Foster will enjoy the bench. Nice comfy seats at the Amex. I can't even go to the game. It's my brother's birthday. Sam's having like a little party thing.
What's
I know. So I'm gonna have to be watching it on TV slyly in the living room.
Wait, why is he?
It's a 5:30 kickoff as well.
Wait, why is he doing it? What? Why is he doing it then? He's like
parents are going away. Yeah, parents are going away for like 2 weeks, so they're away for his birthday, which is a bit snide, but yeah. Oh yeah, score predictions.
Score predictions.
Score predictions. Will they score?
Predictions. Am I scared?
Will they score?
I think they will.
Yeah, they probably will. To be honest, let's go with a 2-1. Just
yeah,
like Burnley.
I'm going with a 2-1. Yeah, I'm going with a 2-1.
2-0 to the Albion.
Oh, I love that. Do you know what? I'm so excited for this game, honestly, because it's going to be that video. It's just going to be so.
Yeah, I hope for your sake we win.
New seats as well. I've got new seats at the Amex, so it's going to be nice, different view.
So do they provide you with like a season ticket for free?
I wish they did. If you're watching this, by the way, and if you want to. No, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to do any of that, but at the moment, no. As far as I'm aware, it'd be nice if I did.
Yeah.
I doubt it, to be honest. But no, I'm so excited. To be honest, it's nice to finally have something like this, because over the last year and a half, it's been really, really long for me because I've just been stuck in my room doing absolutely nothing.
But how sick? Yeah. That reminds me. How sick was going to Getafe, seeing like everyone.
Oh yeah.
There.
Me and Ben met up.
That was so sick.
Me and Ben met up.
Seeing our 10 fans.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was insane. We had 15, 16 people come up to me. Like, oh right, it's so amazing. I loved it.
One kid like literally came round and like double takes Ryan, like dapped him up and said, "Oh Ryan, keep doing what you're doing." It's like,
so mad.
So
I was just my mind was absolutely blown. But yeah, if you came up to me that day, I love you. Please. I'd do it again. Make me in front of my dad on Saturday. In front of my dad on Saturday. Yeah, make me look cool because he thinks that I'm dreaming when I say to him that people actually knew me at the game. He thinks
what you need to do is after the game go to because they open up the North Stand to go for drinks. Just go North Stand, go in there because that's where everyone was last time.
Just get everyone to know me. Cool. Actually, to be honest, that might not be a bad idea with this whole video. To try and get some post-match scenes maybe. Depending on how much I've done.
Film some old people.
We'll see. Yeah, true. We'll see what happens.
In the East Stand. Yeah.
Yeah, like buzzing. Good break for me. It's nice. It'll be cool. I can't wait. Finally, all those people that want to send me abuse. Yeah, you're gonna enjoy this one, aren't you? You're gonna love this.
Big announcement tonight. This will be out by then.
Yeah, let's hope so. Anyway,
all right, boys. So yeah, score predictions 2-0, 2-1, and 2-1. And then finally, boys, what are they going to put down in the comments? Obviously, a new season.
Hashtag announce Ryan.
Hashtag announce Ryan. Hashtag announce Ryan in the comments, please.
Nice
all right, sweet as. Right, boys. Wish us all the luck for Is it Saturday we're playing or something?
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah. Matt's so out of it.
I'm so out of the loop. I'm just literally I'm barely surviving. So
I know, I can tell.
This morning when I saw you liked the kickoff post, and I was like, Matt is obviously just catching up.
Oh mate, I literally since last night I've just been catching up on everything. I was just like, I've missed so much. But yeah, I'm hopefully back in the loop by tomorrow. I'll be fully back. Yeah, so
fully recovered.
Should be all good.
Get a Barocca down you.
Yeah. All right, boys. Absolute pleasure as always. And peace out, A-Town down.
Peace.